Hello, and thanks for joining me as I make an easy dinner for two. To start with, I'm going to unthaw some Branzino fish. Around the holidays, they had some Branzino for sale at Costco, and so I picked up quite a few packages and just froze them. I'm also going to take out some blueberries for a dessert that I plan on making later. I'm going to start by making some simple white bread, and I got this started a lot earlier in the day just because it does need some time to sit. It is a very simple recipe, and I am by no means a master baker, so please don't judge my baking technique too harshly. This recipe calls for 3 1/4 cups flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of yeast. And then finally, just add in 1 1/2 cups of warm water. And after that, I'll just simply cover it with some press and seal and let it sit for about 3 hours. After letting the dough sit, I gently kneaded it into a small loaf, then scored the top and put it in the oven at 425 degrees for 45 minutes. And I also include a small baking dish in there with some water, and I heard that helps to get the crust nice and crispy. For the blueberry crumble, I added the zest of 1 lemon plus the juice of half the lemon to the blueberries. Next, I added in 3 tablespoons of sugar, and to make it a bit thicker, I added in about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I would be careful not to add too much cornstarch just because it can become a bit hard when you bake it. For the crumble portion, I used 1/2 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of oats, and 1/3 cup of sugar, and about 3 tablespoons of melted butter, as well as a few sprinkles of cinnamon. I mixed that together and then sprinkled it on top of the blueberry mixture. And I put this in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. For a simple and refreshing side dish, I made a carrot salad. This could not be any easier, and all I did was grate 4 medium carrots, add some lemon juice, some olive oil, salt and pepper, and I always make a little bit extra for my husband and for leftovers the next day. It tastes especially good the next day after the juices have had a chance to sit all night. To start with, for the main dish, I cut up some potatoes. I tossed this with a little bit of olive oil, some salt, as well as some paprika, and then I placed this in the bottom of a baking dish. I also cut up an onion into some thicker wedges. Normally I use 1/2 an onion for this, but I wanted to use this onion up, so I just put the whole thing in the dish. And I also sliced up some kind of thicker cut tomatoes, and you know that Fig had to have a slice of tomato. It's her favorite. Then I washed off these shishito peppers, dried them, cut up a whole bulb of garlic. You can never have too much garlic. And then finally I put together the dish, just adding in the fish, which yes, do have their heads and tails cut off. One has helped me to fit them into the gallon Ziploc bag, and two, I don't like looking at the heads and the tails when I'm eating. So then I went ahead and stuffed these with a little bit of garlic and just put in the rest of the veggies into the dish. And I'm gonna do a very light sprinkle of salt and pepper and a drizzle of olive oil on top. This went into the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes at 450 degrees, and then for the last few minutes, I just went ahead and turned it on to broil so that the peppers on top got nice and crispy. And I wanted to thank our good friend Yusuf for giving us the idea for this recipe. Thank you so much for following along as I prepared this easy and delicious dinner for two. The fish was nice and light, especially with some fresh lemon juice squeezed on top. The carrot salad was, of course, cool and refreshing, and the bread was comforting and warm. I also loved the blueberry crumble, but then again, I like all dessert. If you'd like to see more videos in the future, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I really appreciate your time. Thanks!